A man was swimming in the ocean when suddenly, an eerie cloud formation appeared in the sky above. Without warning, he was dragged underwater by some mysterious force. Each time he managed to surface for air, he was pulled back down into the depths. This terrifying cycle repeated over and over, nearly costing him his life. A few days later, the town hosted a surfing competition with 10 elite surfers competing in the waters. Just as the crowd was cheering them on, that same horrifying cloud reappeared in the sky. Ben became deeply unsettled and immediately rushed to warn the mayor, but no one believed his frantic claims. Seeing that tragedy was about to strike again, Ben raced to the shoreline, screaming at the top of his lungs for the competitors to get out of the water, but they were too far out to hear his desperate cries. At that moment, the ominous cloud suddenly dove down, plunging straight toward the ocean surface. Chaos erupted on the beach as the cheering spectators scattered in all directions. The cloud mass swirled with seawater, rolling menacingly toward the shore, but when it reached the coastline, it abruptly stopped, then accelerated backward before finally dissolving into mist and disappearing completely. The 10 surfers had vanished without a trace. Max, a professional surfer's agent, contacted the rescue team, explaining that the missing competitors were equipped with GPS tracking devices. When the rescue personnel entered the coordinates, everyone was stunned. The GPS showed the missing surfers were located 10 miles offshore in the deep ocean. Ben and Julian immediately set out in a speedboat toward the GPS location, as their own family members were among the missing. However, halfway there, their boat suddenly lost power and all electronic equipment failed. The two men found themselves stranded in the vast ocean. Meanwhile, the GPS indicated that the missing person's location was moving. Every time the rescue team advanced 1 nautical mile, the tracking signal moved the same distance in the same direction, as if deliberately evading the search and rescue efforts. Just when all hope seemed lost, a miracle occurred. 5 hours later, all 10 surfers suddenly appeared on a different stretch of coastline, completely unharmed and reunited with their families. However, they had absolutely no memory of those 5 hours. Julian's son had undergone an incredible transformation. His originally brown eyes had turned blue. His mother, Anna, a doctor, was completely unable to explain this phenomenon. Even more remarkable, the boy's nearsightedness had completely disappeared, and when throwing darts, he hit the bullseye every single time. Another competitor, Matthew, had also awakened extraordinary abilities. When his father Kane was suffering from severe arthritis pain, Matthew simply placed his hand on his father's leg, and the pain instantly vanished. Not only that, but he also miraculously healed an injured pigeon in their yard, which then spread its wings and flew away. Matthew was shocked to discover that he had gained the supernatural power to heal diseases. Another participant, Reed, had a terrifying nightmare that night. He dreamed that the town had become a barren desert, with residential areas buried under sand dunes, and only an abandoned lighthouse standing alone in the wasteland. This haunting vision seemed to foretell a coming disaster that would befall the town.